Hi, a warm welcome to my channel. Today I'm chatting about something a little different. On the 5th of April we have the Sun squaring Jupiter, two very positive planets forming a square. This is a little strange. Personally, I think this is pretty positive, even though we're squaring. To use an example, this transit is a little like getting a really beautiful lunch buffet, but putting way too much food on your plate. So let me unpack this transit, and then look at each sign. Listen to my intro, and then scroll down for your sun, moon, and rising sign. I'm inclined to say the sun sign will be very accurate here. In astrology, the sun isn't your personality, it's your identity engine. The sun rules your will, your ego, and your vitality. This transit happens with the sun in Aries, which means the sun is acting fast, bold, and instinctively. Aries doesn't wait. It doesn't second guess. If something feels alive, Aries goes for it. That's powerful and dangerous when unchecked. Now let's chat about Jupiter. This is the planet of growth, optimism, belief, and meaning. Where Jupiter goes, things get bigger, louder, more hopeful, and even more exaggerated. Jupiter doesn't ask, is this realistic? It asks, could this be more? And in this case, Jupiter is in Cancer, where it's exalted, meaning it has emotions turned all the way up. This is nourishment, protection, generosity, but also emotional overindulgence and attachment too. So we need to be careful. Big feelings, big reactions, big justifications. Now let's talk about a square, which many of us hate in astrology. A square is astrology's pressure cooker. Two planets sit 90 degrees apart. Neither compromises, neither yields. Squares force action, not softly, but insistently. They create friction that demands consciousness. Handled well, they lead to growth. Handled poorly, they lead to excess and regret. A lot depends on how we deal with the energy. On the high side, this transit can feel fantastic. You may feel confident, lucky, inspired, wildly optimistic. But this is also the classic, I can do everything moment. The danger is not dreaming big. The danger is overcommitting. This is when people take on too many projects, spend too much, promise too much, overindulge physically or emotionally. The wisdom here is moderation. Okay, so let's look at each sign. Hi Aries, Jupiter in your 4th house squaring the Sun will probably mean a boost of confidence around home, family, or personal foundations. You may suddenly feel ready to move, renovate, or emotionally reset your life. Be a little bit careful of reacting emotionally or making domestic decisions too quickly. You may get lucky breaks around property, family support, or healing old roots. Wishing you a happy transit. Hi Taurus, Jupiter in your 3rd house squaring the Sun will probably mean a boost of confidence in your voice, ideas, and everyday conversations. You may feel bolder speaking your truth or pitching your thoughts. Be a little bit careful of overpromising or talking before fully thinking things through. You may get lucky breaks in writing, teaching, short trips, or sibling matters. Wishing you a happy transit. Hi Gemini. Jupiter in your 2nd house squaring the Sun will probably mean a boost of confidence around money, skills, and self-worth. You may feel ready to ask for more, or spend as if abundance is guaranteed. Be a little bit careful of overspending or assuming growth is endless. You may get lucky breaks through income opportunities or recognizing your value. Wishing you a happy transit. Hi Cancer. Jupiter in your 1st house squaring the Sun will probably mean a surge of personal confidence, visibility, and emotional presence. You may feel bigger, braver, and more expressive than usual. Be a little bit careful of overreacting or taking things personally. You may get lucky breaks through self-promotion, leadership, or simply trusting your instincts. Wishing you a happy transit. Hi Leo. Jupiter in your 12th house squaring the Sun will probably mean a boost of confidence on a subconscious or spiritual level. You may feel drawn to retreat, dream, or plan something quietly. Be a little bit careful of escapism or overindulgence behind the scenes. You may get lucky breaks through rest, intuition, or releasing old baggage. Wishing you a happy transit. Hi Virgo. Jupiter in your 11th house squaring the Sun will probably mean a boost of confidence around friendships, groups, and future goals. You may feel inspired to say yes to everything socially or professionally. Be a little bit careful of spreading yourself too thin. You may get lucky breaks through networking or community support. Wishing you a happy transit. Hi Libra. Jupiter in your 10th house squaring the Sun will probably mean a surge of ambition and public confidence. You may feel ready to claim recognition or take a professional risk. Be a little bit careful of overestimating how much you can manage at once. You may get lucky breaks in career visibility or leadership opportunities. Wishing you a happy transit. Hi Scorpio. Jupiter in your 9th house squaring the Sun will probably mean a boost of confidence in your beliefs, plans, or long-term vision. You may feel restless and hungry for expansion or meaning. Be a little bit careful of moral certainty or rushing decisions about travel or study. You may get lucky breaks through learning, teaching, or foreign connections. Wishing you a happy transit. Hi Sagittarius. Jupiter in your 8th house squaring the Sun will probably mean deeper emotional confidence and heightened intensity, especially around shared money and resources. You may feel ready to merge finances, invest, or deal with something vulnerable, emotionally or materially. This can show up as tax refunds, inheritances, bonuses, insurance payouts, settlements, or a partner's money becoming more visible. Be a little bit careful of financial or emotional overextension, especially saying yes before all the numbers are clear. You may get lucky breaks through lump sums, shared support, or powerful breakthroughs around trust and intimacy. Wishing you a happy transit. Hi Capricorn. Jupiter in your 7th house squaring the Sun will probably mean a boost of confidence through relationships and partnerships. You may attract bold people or big conversations. Be a little bit careful of promising too much to others. You may get lucky breaks through alliances, clients, or supportive connections. Wishing you a happy transit. Hi Aquarius. Jupiter in your 6th house squaring the Sun will probably mean confidence in work, routines, or productivity. You may feel ready to do everything at once. Be a little bit careful of burnout or pushing your body too hard. You may get lucky breaks through useful habits, work opportunities, or wellness insights. Wishing you a happy transit. Hi Pisces. Jupiter in your 5th house squaring the Sun will probably mean a boost of confidence in creativity, romance, or self-expression. You may feel playful, bold, or emotionally expressive. Be a little bit careful of drama or excess in pleasure. You may get lucky breaks in love, creative projects, or joy-based risks. Buy a lottery ticket, but play within your limits. Wishing you a happy transit.